Hey guys, I'm Kortney. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and write replay so that if you respond to some questions or comment on anything, we know that you are responding through the replay. I'm going to turn this on real fast. Make sure that my phone is charging and not dying on everyone. So if you're here, go ahead and say hello. Let me double check and make sure that this is actually charging. Okay, let me do it over here. What's up, guys? Okay, is that charging? We will see. All right, well, my name is Carey, and I am going to be talking about Instagram. A lot of people know me for my reels. I do a lot of reels on Instagram, and I love them. They're like the most fun thing ever. So I'm going to be talking to people who maybe are a little bit afraid of Instagram. Maybe they're scared. They don't know what to say, when to say it. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So if anybody has any questions at any time, feel free to drop them because I totally want to answer as many as I can and make sure that I'm not missing anything or leaving anybody out. So I'm just going to introduce myself. My name's Carey. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I've got chickens outside, and I'm a hairstylist for just a few more days. But I run a bakery Tico, and I sell baking t-shirts. So I was a cookier for a little while. I actually started the same time that Corey did. So we kind of connected a long time ago before we had Bakery Tico, before we had Sugar Cookie Marketing. We were connected back in the day, just kind of rooting on each other and, cheering each other on cookie-wise. So yeah. I'm really excited to talk tonight, and I hope that we can have a lot of fun. I'm not seeing any comments though, so I'm kind of nervous that... Okay, here we go. Hello from Kansas. Hi. Okay, Heather, we've got the Baker's Men collection that is launching at midnight tonight. So in just a few hours, a lot of really funny men's tees. And they're just hilarious. So for those of you who have husbands that go along with you to like vendor shows and things like that, oh my word, they're the best. Okay, you're intimidated to do lives, intimidated to try reels. All right, so yeah, we're gonna touch on all that. So we've got a few people on. Let's go ahead and start talking about Instagram. What is Instagram? Why should you be on it? Okay, is everybody on Instagram? Can you tell me like a yes or a no or not yet or yes, but I'm not active, just like to give me a sense of where we are collectively as a group. Let me just start out by like saying it's okay to start messy. It's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You can just start. It's a process. You'll start messy. You're going to make weird mistakes. I certainly did and still do. But it's free. So if we're not taking advantage of it, what are we doing? Okay. It's the place to share on social media. We share images and video. Those are kind of your two platforms. And I know in Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, they tell you how to make the best photos of your cookies. So pay attention in this group. Take those really good photos because, it's what you see that, your customer will see it and that will sell. So think of Instagram as like a giant cocktail party. Like we all kind of arrive and we're all kind of trying to get each other's attention. Like, look at my stuff, like, oh, she's got this over here. Maybe we can connect. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like a big cocktail party where you can network with people, you can network with other businesses, you can find people that are close to you. It's just a matter of like taking a step forward and starting to like talk to people, okay? I always say that when you are speaking or you are on in captions, it should never be a monologue, but a dialogue, because you want people responding. Anytime you're on social media, you want interaction, not just, here's the facts. You know what I mean? Because you want people to engage with you. You definitely want, engagement, because there's an algorithm that will boost you if you're doing all the good things. So Instagram was created in 2010, and now it's owned by Facebook. So there is a little bit of a connection there, but I don't think that's important today. But so you create your own content in the form of photos and videos, and then they just all end up in these little tiny squares on your feed. Most cookiers make the mistake of trying to make their feed look just like perfect. And I got some news for you. Studies have showed that perfect feeds look kind of fake, and people may not connect with them as well. So let's just all do a big sigh of relief. Like, we don't have to have a perfect feed. And really perfect feeds, like mine, looks a mess. So we don't have to worry about that. People still respond. I still get great engagement. I still get lots of DMs, and I still am making money from Instagram. So don't worry about making it perfect. I'm not seeing comments. Is that going to be a problem? Don't worry about it being perfect, because you do not have to. Hey, Corey. So let's see. Okay, so you can connect with people on Instagram, from your neighbor to celebrities, Kim Kardashian. Okay, like you can connect with anybody on social media. So I recommend following every single local business, every single person on the PTA, your kids' teachers, your hairstylist. You guys, your hairstylist has so many connections you don't even know. You don't even know who's sitting in her chair, who could be talking about your cookies. You've got to be following the local people. Don't worry about following all the big name cookie people. Don't worry about, other cookiers. Those aren't going to be that's not where you're going to make your money. You're going to make your money following people and engaging with people locally, and making connections through that. So, let me see. So I think that Instagram is the best way to network and make connections. So it's a great way to also show off your work. So if you are taking those pictures all the time, it's a great resume. So even if you're not like being big strategic, doing big strategic things, you can say like, hey, check out my Instagram. It's where all my work is posted, and you can certainly check that out. It's just a great way for all your stuff to be posted all together, and you can always add to it, and it's free. It's like a free resume online. And Instagram is a great way to humanize your company. So it is 2021, and people want to do business with people now. We don't care about logos so much anymore. When was the last time you were talking about another company and you said, this girl has an amazing logo. Her logo is so beautiful. Her aesthetic is great. Like, no, you're talking about the girl. Like, this girl is so funny. And she's, she works out, she posts all her workouts, and she makes these great cookies. And, she does these reels. Like, people talk about the human part of you. They don't just share, like, your aesthetic. Okay, is it better to do reels on Instagram or videos to TikTok to post to Instagram? It's better to do reels on Instagram. Respect the platform. I do both, but my views tend to get better when I am on Instagram and I use the reels platform. And then same way if I'm on TikTok, use the TikTok platform to record. Keep it on the TikTok app. Pretty sure 100% of everyone joined this group for our amazing logo, but I may be wrong. Okay, your logo can help you show, what do I want to say? It can help you visually people can know who you are and what you are, but people don't talk about the logo necessarily. But I feel like people like to talk about the people, and you can, everybody does it differently, but I think that Instagram is a great way to stand out as a person and show off your family, your successes, and your failures. People like to watch, the Rocky Balboa. They like to see, a good story where people like really succeed and you're cheering them on. It's a good way to show what you love and what you support. It's a great way to show behind the scenes. So yeah, sorry, I don't care how much you like your logo. Nobody likes it as much as you do. But yeah, so I definitely recommend a photo of yourself for your logo, or your profile picture. A picture of you smiling. It's a great way to kind of have that connection with somebody. Because if you're just looking at the sea of cookiers, everybody kind of looks the same after a while. And I love connecting with people on a more personal level. It also makes it so that people can see your face and they know that you're a human being and not just a cookie factory. If they think you're a cookie factory, they're going to talk to you like you're a cookie factory and say, hey, can you get these Paw Patrol cookies to me tonight? No, why not? Why not? I thought you were a business, They'll understand, oh, she's a mom. Oh, she's got kids. Oh, she's, she works full time. If they know you, they'll respect you and they'll be able to be more your dream customer than ever before. So why are people on Instagram? So just the average user, people log in to be entertained, mostly. Are we bored? Yes. That's why we get on Instagram. So we log on to be entertained, educated, inspired, and to feel connected. Okay, so we want to feel connected to people. We want to kind of feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. That's the 4 main reasons why people log on to Instagram. So they're not on to buy our cookies. Okay, so even though we have great cookies, they're on to be entertained. But we want to still be on the platform because when the time comes that they think, I guess I could use cookies for that occasion, or I should really think of this for my next party, they'll think of you. So you want to be there. So that's why people are on Instagram. So a fun way to kind of think of your content as an Instagram person, you want to be entertaining. You want to make it fun. It's a cookie business. We're not like a funeral home director. The content is fun. It's full of sprinkles and glitter and cheerfulness. So make it fun. Add music. Make it enjoyable to consume as a content consumer. So and be inspiring. Be uplifting. Don't dog on the company next door to you. Don't talk politics. It just kind of brings everybody down and makes people feel lots of feelings. And we just want everybody to buy our cookies. We just want everybody to love it. So be a source of fun and value. And I think that's super important. Be more enjoyable. Come on. So one thing that I've never seen a cookier do that I think would just be fabulous, like so smart and so fabulous, is to, if your customers are local, try saying here's the top 3 places that you can take your kids this summer, and then tag your local zoo, your local aquarium, a fun coffee house that has really a kids menu, a boutique that has kids clothes. Tag local businesses and they might, really love that. Wouldn't you feel like that would be the coolest thing, seeing your business on a list like that? So kind of like a blog, top 4 ways to blah, blah, blah. Be that source of guidance and an industry leader in your community. I think that would be awesome. Or you can say like, share 5 ways to shop local in your town for Mother's Day. So tag your local boutique. They just got a new line of handbags. Your local coffee house. They've got, really great coffee. Tag local businesses. You scratch their back, they might scratch yours. Don't just be a source of information. And that kind of content is shareable. So people like in the community will see it and they'll share it for sure. If you, don't be a cranky cookie lady. Got it. Family, you're so funny. So just be a source of guidance and just kind of stand up and be a leader in your community. Even though you're just a cookie lady, even though you just have a little home kitchen, kind of, a room, no, you can stand up and be an industry leader today. You can do it today. So don't be scared of that. It's really cool. If you go to a local salon, you tag that salon on Instagram and you tell them that they do the best, balayage that you've ever seen. So people will love that. And if they kind of get that little pat on the back, you know who they're calling when they have an open house or an event. Do it. Be strategic, guys. Instagram it's powerful. You can connect with anybody. So content to avoid, or let's talk about content that we want. Quality photos, because it's very visual. If the photo is grainy and kind of crappy or dark, nobody's going to click on it. It's just not pleasing to the eye. Our eyes have been trained to I know, I do got fancy hair words. You guys are in my salon right now. We're going live in my salon. So yeah, I do got some fancy hair words. I even redid my messy bun for you guys, so you're welcome. So quality photos need to be on the feed. If it's not pleasing to the eye, people are not going to read more, I don't think that you need a perfect feed. And like I said, studies have shown that people who have a too perfect feed, it comes off as fake and inauthentic. So you don't have to have a feed just full of cookies. You can have a selfie in there somewhere so people actually know what you are. I will never forget, somebody said, it was probably maybe 6 months ago, somebody screenshot a conversation that they had with their customer, and their customer said, "I'm surprised that you were so young and you had tattoos." And the girl said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I was picturing an old lady doing all these cookies." And she's like, "What? I'm young. I'm cool. I've got all these tattoos." And she never once showed her face. So it was shocking when he showed up to her door and picked up these cookies from this young girl who had all these cool tattoos. It is amazing how much you can connect to somebody's face. I mean, can you imagine if Heather and Corey never once showed their face in this group? Everybody would be like, "Wait, who are the twins?" I mean, people ask that anyway, but people would just be like, "Who are the twins? I have no idea who they even are." No, they put their face in their, photos so that people can have a connection. You don't realize how much you're making a connection, and they go live and they do. Okay. So yeah. You can post a non-cookie picture. I'm giving everybody who are the twins, right? So you are allowed to post a picture that is not of your face. And I will tell you, Instagram has spilled the tea on this, that product photos and food photos perform 38% worse than photos with faces on it, because they want you to be social. So if Instagram just sees cookie picture, food picture, they're going to say "Oh, this person's probably just selling stuff. I don't want them to make money off of my platform. I want people to interact and get lots of good engagement." Now, you might get great engagement because you have great cookies, but make sure that you're getting engagement from potential customers, not just other people in the industry. Does that make sense? Because really great engagement to a bunch of people who have, no capacity of putting $1 in your pocket, what's it all worth? It's just for vanity. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my engagement went up. Oh, but your bank account didn't go up. You gotta connect with people that are local. There are a few people that do a really, really good job just talking to their customers when they're in Instagram stories and things like that. They do an amazing job. They tell everybody where they're going to be, what they're working on. They update them all the time, and they talk to their local people, because talking to a bunch of cookiers all the time, nobody's going to follow you. So Heather and Corey is just one person with multiple personalities. Yeah, we're still not sure. We've never actually, I guess one of us has actually met you guys in person. So for the cookie pictures, you definitely want to pay attention in this group. You're in the right place. You're in good hands. Taking Corey's tips on photography, my word. Or is it Heather's? Who does all the, is it Corey? I don't know. You're in good hands. So providing value in all of your posts, education, telling them all about the cookie process. Tell them it takes, 12 hours to do 24 cookies, and then they'll know not to, ask last minute stuff. So education, entertainment, connection, reel them in and tell a story, a story about being a mom or owning a small business, or, just something that was kind of scary that you did and you're so proud of yourself. That's a good way to connect with people. Make them feel something, make them raise their hands and be like, I do that too. I have a shirt shop, and I cannot tell you how many DMs I get every day that say, I just found your shop. I want every single one of them, because it makes them feel something. It makes them feel seen, and it makes them feel like I literally have a spy camera in their house, which I do. So that goes into being authentic. So authenticity is huge on Instagram. People can smell the funk if you're just kind of being, inauthentic and just kind of, I don't know, people can tell, right? Like, you can tell. So just do your best to connect with people. Picture your ideal customer, and talk to that person alone. So my ideal customer, I've said this before, she's 35-ish. She's in sweatpants right now and a messy bun on her head. Her name is Allison, and she has no idea what she's doing on Instagram, but she's just trying everything because she needs to make this cookie business work. That is who I'm here to serve. That's my ideal customer. So content to avoid is sale post after sale post after sale post after sale post. I could go on. Don't sell on every single post, because that gets a little slimy after a while, and you don't want to feel like they used car salesman, because you actually have an amazing product and you actually, are genuine about selling. So if you owned a bakery and somebody walked into your store, how would you engage with them? Would you say, look over here, we have Father's Day cookies. Look over here, we've got this going on. I can customize this, I can deliver. No, you'd say, hey, come on in. I'm Kortney, how are you? You'd say, take your coat off, have a seat, let's talk. You would engage with them in a friendly and personal and authentic way. And that's how we need to be, except my mom's name. You guys are so funny. So our brains are actually wired to resist being sold to. So if we are, hearing kind of a pitch, or if we see like a salesman come to the door, we don't want to answer, right? 'Cause, they're just selling something, you see little kids walking around with little, catalogs. They're going to ring my doorbell. They want me to buy something. We resist, buying something because we don't want to be fooled, right? We're immediately turned off if all this girl does is sell, sell, sell. So provide them value, give them some fun, talk about things like post a picture of your cookies, but then if it's like fishing cookies, talk about like how Like I would talk about how I caught my eyelid in with a fishing hook. Like I would tell that story, and you know what I mean? Just like make them laugh, make them feel something, or you know what I mean? You don't have to say in your caption, did this fishing set for Billy's birthday. Happy birthday, Billy. Well, nobody's going to comment on that other than like, cute. You know what I mean? Nobody will feel prompted to engage because you're not asking them to engage. So there is a time to sell, for sure. You are a business. There's a time to promote yourself, but not with every post. We don't want to be that. We don't want to be that girl. So another topic I wanted to talk about is how to fill up your posting calendar, like your content calendar, without any stress. First of all, in my group, this is kind of a shameless plug, I offer a calendar every month full of just writing prompts for you to talk about in your social media. So anywhere, even on Facebook, even anywhere. And using those prompts along with your own photos, you can become a three-dimensional person to your customers, and they will adore you for who you are as a person, which I'm really big on. So I would, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I think that Heather talked about content buckets not too long ago. Pick 4 or 5 things in your business that you want to talk about. So cookies should definitely be one of them, like behind the scenes, family, community, motivation or inspiration, maybe workouts or just whatever is super, super important to you. But definitely, you definitely want cookies to be one of them, okay? And then pull from those buckets for your content. So I don't actually do that. I know a lot of people do. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants when I post. And sometimes I use the Plan app, PLANN, to post on Instagram. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to answer some questions. And keep asking them too, because I would love to. It's hard to keep up with Facebook Live, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. I always feel like I post the same things on all 3. You should post the same things on all 3, because not all of your customers are going to see everything. You have about 6% of your customers, maybe lower, depending on how many you have, how many followers you have, who are actually going to see your content. And most people need to see your content 7 times before they actually pull the trigger and buy. I can't tell you how many times I have to see an ad before I ever buy. Like, I rarely just pull the trigger and go. And maybe you're the same. It doesn't have to be the exact same content. For example, you could post a reel of how you did a specific cookie and then a TikTok on how you did a different cookie in the same set. And then Facebook Live, you can go and you can show off the whole set and talk about the different, strategies that you use, who you're doing it for, and like why they're a great customer. People would love that. I feel like I had a few more. So all our content doesn't need to be just about our cookies. I thought I should just keep it to cookies. So no, your content does not need to be all about cookies. It should be, your business is cookies. So if you're talking about other things, you can say like, well, the reason I'm able to do this is because I'm really thankful for my cookie business. It can still feel about cookies, but not every single picture needs to be cookie picture, cookie picture, cookie picture. Because even though you want that like beautiful feed just of all cookies, you need those to perform well. You need each of those posts to perform well. You're not doing it just for a perfect feed. I don't have a perfect feed at all. Like, it's bonkers. Sometimes my face is cut off because I did a reel. It's just all over the place. But you certainly don't want to not post reels or not post any 1-minute videos or anything because it might mess up your aesthetic or it's not on brand for me. No. I want to convey busy mom life, but I'm not comfortable putting photo of my kids. Any tips to still include behind the scene type content without photos of my kids. Yeah, show their messes, show their rooms. You know, if you redo their rooms, meals for little kids. Talk about fun places in your community to take them to this summer. Like, we're gonna go check out this zoo, or we're gonna try this new ice cream place. And then just take a picture of like the dessert, or you know, you at the ice cream place and say, I took my kids there. Post whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't want your kids on your page, don't post your kids to your page. You don't feel like you have to. Or would you use an app like Plan versus Facebook Business Manager for post scheduling? Plan is for Instagram, and you can kind of rearrange your grid to see kind of how it looks together, and then it will remind you to schedule. And then if you, but it is good to schedule posts, because what I like about that is while you're in the content creation mode, you can do 2 or 3 at a time. You don't have to all of a sudden have it be, oh, it's 8 o'clock at night, I never posted anything. Let's just do a bunch of emojis or a stupid, song lyric. You know, that's, you just need, you need to be purposeful about your captions. I've put my kid's face. Okay, so let's move on then. Let's see. Okay, so when you talk to your dream customer, you don't have to shout at the rooftops like, I have cookies. I have cookies. They're amazing. They're for sale. Buy some. Guys, buy some. My dog came over to see if I was okay. When you are posting to your actual dream customer, you can just lean in and say, hey girl, I know that you're busy. I know that summer's here. I've got this great cookie kit for you. You can totally be the Pinterest mom that you want to be without any of the mess. I got you. See how it's so different than saying, cookies for sale. I've got cookies for sale. And you can just lean in and talk to your dream customer and say like, hey, I know that, it's a mess. I know that moms are busy, and I know that you don't want to, make a huge mess trying to make cookies with your kids. Let me take care of that for you. Do you see how more like genuine and authentic it feels? And it would make me think like, I can do this and just pick it up and have this fun night with my kids without, stressing over all the craziness. That's the difference between like shouting to the masses and just leaning in and talking to your dream customer. You can be so much more authentic, and you can connect with people so much better that way. A friend told me that hashtags are passé. True or not? No, you want to use hashtags. You want to use the right hashtags. Hashtag love. Hashtag friends. No, those are way too general. They're way too vague. You're never going to come up on a search. You got to get in your customer's head and think, what would they be searching? Okay, probably your town, and probably like birthday party ideas, or Fort Wayne bakery, Fort Wayne cookies, Fort Wayne custom cookies. Like, use your location on like a bunch of them, and then add bakery, cookies, custom cookies, royal icing cookies, things that you think that your customer might be looking for. Even like activities, like people might be saying like, oh, I'm going to Atlanta. What are Atlanta activities? Oh, well then if your cookies pop up, oh, what's this? So definitely be thinking and getting in the head of your ideal customer and seeing what they would actually search on Instagram. Don't just use all the hashtags that you see other cookiers use, okay? Because hashtag cookies, it's way too vague, and you may never find your dream customer. Your dream customer may never be connected to you with something as vague as hashtag cookies. How often should we be posting? Every day? I would say so. I like to post every day. At least post to your Instagram stories, because those are really fun to consume, and they're a really great way for your customer to like feel compelled to reply, or using, the little slider emoji, or the, do a poll. They can connect with you, or, participate in your Instagram stories. Those are the ones that disappear in 24 hours. So don't make those perfect. Don't spend too much time on those. That would be not very smart. It would just be a big waste of time, in my opinion. So I would say go on Instagram stories for like a minute every day. Just give them a little snippet of your day at least. Some people go bananas. Sometimes I go bananas on stories and I just post a million. But people consume them, and people, get in your DMs. When people interact with your stories and they send you DMs because of your Instagram stories, that does boost your algorithm. So anything that gets people talking to you is a good thing. So can you hashtag your own business name on the posts? Yeah, you can. I do with Bakery Tico. I try to, at least. And you can do up to 30. And I do not recommend copying and pasting the same exact ones every time, because Instagram will smell the funk, and they will probably dock you down a few points on the algorithm for copying and pasting, because it doesn't seem as authentic. They want it to be real. They don't want bots. They don't want anything super automated, if that makes sense. Best time of the day to post, it just depends on your audience. You can test this on your own. I like to go over to, this is a little trick. I like to go to Instagram stories and go over to the live and just tap on it. Don't go live, but then you can see how many of your followers are active right now. That if it's, 100 or more, it might be a good time to post. If it's only like 17, then maybe it's not a good time to post. However, if you have good content, it should do well, because Instagram used to be a thing where only the most current posts showed up, but now it's like if it does well on the algorithm, it'll show up to more followers, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna take a drink. So feel free to add more questions if you've got them. I'm gonna take a drink. So best practices on Instagram, I would be consistent. Even if you don't post very often, if you post every other day, then make sure that you post every other day. Even if you only post once a week to your feed, I don't recommend that, but be consistent in stories. At least show up there